company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, Belize joins global call to preserve UNRWA funding amid humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Legal clash erupts over UDP headquarters. Ex-honorary members seek control. Social security, the board hosts media mixer to outline future plans and benefits for Belizeans. And we talk diabetes, key symptoms, and risk factors with experts. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, November 7th, 2024.
This is my first visit to Belize as foreign minister, but my fourth overall. I first came here 20 years ago. Taiwan and Belize have many things in common, and we both cherish peace and uphold the values of freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. And based on these solid foundation of common ideals and mutual interests, our friendship has continued to flourish for 35 years. The government of Taiwan, in response to Prime Minister Belize's request during his visit to Taiwan in May, has agreed to provide financial support for the reconstruction of Beacon Bridge in Belize City. We understand that this is a pressing issue concerning the city's transportation safety.
Taiwan has proven over those 35 years to be a very valuable partner and very consistent partner and ally and friend of Belize's development. So we're very happy to welcome Minister Lin and his delegation to Belize.
Relationship between countries starts with personal friendships. And once you build that personal friendship, then you start to build on top of that.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast in Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. The government of Belize has joined other nations in expressing serious concern over the recent move by 16 donor countries to stop funding the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA, for Palestine refugees. This agency has been working to provide humanitarian aid to Palestinians, especially those in Gaza who were caught in the conflict. On Monday, Israel withdrew its request to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East, which was issued in 1967. This comes 1 week after Israeli legislature passed 2 bills to prohibit the country's authorities from having any contact with UNRWA and bar the agency from operating within Israel. In a statement from Belize's Ministry of Foreign Affairs on the matter, the government maintains that UNRWA is irreplaceable not only as an aid agency, but as an organization that provides education, healthcare, social services, and protection for Palestinian refugees. In an interview with the media this week, Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Francis Fonseca echoed the government's plea, urging these countries to rethink their decision and continue their support.
Yeah, very, very important. And Belize, we felt an absolute obligation, duty and obligation to make a very strong statement on this issue, condemning Israel's actions. This is an organization that, serves the needs of the people, Palestinian refugees, migrants. and absolutely it is, I think, wrong-headed for Israel to take this position. So we wanted to make it very clear where we stood in terms of the importance of this organization to ensuring, the health and safety and wellness and dignity of the Palestinian people. So we hope that, the international community will join with Belize in condemning this latest action by Israel and work to ensure that, the organization is restored and is able to continue its work in Gaza.
The United Nations has also sounded the alarm on this issue, warning that famine could soon hit Gaza, putting the lives of over 2 million people at risk due to this funding cut. In a dramatic turn of events, a group of applicants comprised of Moses Barrow, Michael Perifeet, Shari Medina, Alberto August, and Ugo Pat have filed an urgent legal action aimed at reclaiming ownership of the United Democratic Party, UDP, headquarters located at Lake Independence Block 45, parcel 00969. This move comes amid escalating tensions within the party as the applicants seek to seize control from Tracy Tager Panton and Philippa Griffith Bailey, both of whom they allege have unlawfully commandeered the premises. The dispute stems from allegations that Panton, identified as an expelled UDP member and the current leader of the Alliance for Democracy, took unauthorized control of the headquarters on October 28. In their claim, the applicants are requesting an ex parte injunction from the High Court to restore the properties used to the UDP's legitimate leadership, asserting that the headquarters serve a crucial role for Barrow in his capacity as the leader of the opposition, representing the interests of Belizeans. This headquarters has since been pivotal for our operations since March 2022, Barrow stated. The disruptive actions taken by Panton have not only hindered our ability to function, but have also posed a serious threat to our party's reputation as we approach significant upcoming general elections. The urgency of the claim is underscored by claims of an unlawful seizure of vital assets, notably the Guardian newspaper and Wave Radio, both integral communication channels for the UDP. The applicants contended that these entities operating independently have been harmed by Panton's actions, resulting in substantial damage to the party's public image. In their amended fixed date claim form, the applicants are seeking multiple forms of relief from the court, including 1. A declaration that Panton and Griffith Bailey have no legal right to possession or control of the UDP headquarters or its assets. 2. An order for Panton to vacate the premises and return all UDP assets to the Central Executive Committee. 3. A permanent injunction preventing Panton from representing herself as a UDP leader and from unlawfully occupying the property in the future. Additionally, the claimants are demanding damages for unlawful possession, exemplary damages, interest, and costs associated with the case. The conflict has sparked concerns about its implications for Belizean democracy, with the applicants warning that Panton's takeover could undermine public confidence in the UDP's leadership and governance capabilities. As this legal battle unfolds, all eyes will be on the High Court to see how it resolves the leadership struggle within one of Belize's major political parties. The situation remains fluid, and with the impending general elections, the importance of the outcome is likely to resonate beyond the UDP, potentially impacting the broader political landscape in Belize. As diabetes continues to rise as a prevalent health concern among Belizeans, many remain unaware of its symptoms and the risk factors that can pave the way for diagnosis. In efforts to shed light on this pressing issue, Reporter Elmer Cornejo sat down with Dr. Angela Gilhari earlier today to discuss essential information that every Belizean should know about this increasingly deadly disease. In their conversation, Dr. Gilhari emphasizes the importance of awareness and education to combat the diabetes epidemic in the country. Here is that report.
Diabetes, a chronic condition characterized by high blood glucose levels, remains a growing concern in Belize, particularly in the northern districts of Corozal and the Range Walk. Dr. Angela Gilhari, Chief of Staff at the Corozal Community Hospital, sheds light on the complexities of the disease, noting that diabetes often goes unnoticed until it manifests in serious complications, and it can be hereditary.
Well, diabetes can be hereditary and is one of those things that is hereditary, but is influenced very much by the diet that one carries about. And it's the reason why in the north you see it's so prevalent, and it has to do with the diet on a whole of the Corozaleño. Belizeans on a whole, we tend to eat very high starch content diet, high on carbohydrates. So, and in Corozal and the north, more than in other areas, there's not a household that you don't get the flour tortillas and the fried jab. By experience, our people tend to wait hasta que me duele algo until something goes wrong. Then that's when you come in, and sometimes the problem has been there for years underlying, and because of factors like maybe your age, your body tries to compensate. And so it doesn't give much symptoms. You don't go through all the signs and symptoms that a typical diabetic patient goes through because you're young, but actually your body has been battling these high sugars for maybe 2 to 3 years before it becomes diagnosed. And the ones that really are putting in the effort to compensate are your main organs, your kidneys, your liver, your heart, all of these main organs. These are the ones that are trying to compensate.
Recent data from the Ministry of Health and Wellness highlights a troubling increase in diabetes diagnosis, with 1,189 new cases reported in 2023 alone, a significant jump from 877 in 2022, alongside 152 related deaths.
Of late, I would say in the past 2 to 3 years, we have seen a steady increase in the number of diabetic patients that are coming to our facilities. And overall, the statistics as a whole in a country, it does reflect that in the north, we have a higher incidence of diabetes, and because of that, we're going to have a higher incidence of chronic renal failure, which is one of the complications that it's most costly to a family once it becomes diagnosed. One, because the resources to properly manage it are limited, even within the public sector. And in private sector, it's very, very costly. When you start talking about hemodialysis, you're talking about 2 to 3 sessions per week, 500 minimum per session. Even the family who is well off financially, it eventually becomes a draining point, because you're talking about $1,500 per week that you're finding and scrambling to try to get just to have this person have a extension of their life, because the quality is still very much deteriorated, right? Our numbers are very much influenced by the diet that we see on a whole being followed. And the other contributing factor is the non-compliance of our people in terms of doing your yearly checkups. At one point, I know that it was the common justification or the excuses that we used was the inaccessibility of medical personnel in our health facilities, but I believe that has improved a lot in these last years. We have managed to staff our facilities better, especially in the outpatient section, because we're we're trying to work towards, prevention. We find that prevention is way easier and cheaper for us to handle than dealing with the complications that come about afterwards. So if you look, for example, at the services that are offered at our polyclinic, you can get interconsultation with the internist that comes in twice a week. So initially, the first step would be to get that first consultation with your medical practitioner. And we send to do the routine tests, and if there's something that, gets flagged that indicates that, okay, this is a possible debuting diabetic patient, then there's a series of referrals that we have to do. So at that point, it's when we pass you on to the internist, who is going to continue with your management in trying to get those sugar levels, those glycemic levels down to normal to prevent any further complication.
Belizeans are predominantly facing two types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 diabetes is usually diagnosed in children and young adults, while type 2 diabetes, which is more prevalent, is often linked to lifestyle and dietary choices. Dr. Gilhari stressed that effective management of the condition revolves around diet, hence the reason why the resources are available within the Ministry of Health and Wellness, including 2 nutritionists dedicated to helping residents of northern Belize create healthy, cost-effective meal plans.
We actually have 2 nutritionists on board, where an appointment is set up for you to come in, and she sits down with you and gives you a breakdown of what your diet should look like. And what I like about our nutritionists here is that they work with what is the common diet in the household. So it's not necessarily of what you eat, but it's how you eat it and what timing, portions. So they work with the Belizean diet, because we know that there are financial restraints in every household, and you might not be able to necessarily go out there and buy the light fat and the light this and the light that and the sugarless things. But so they work with the everyday household groceries and items that you have, and they even teach you how to go about preparing it so that it's in a healthier in a healthier manner that you are consuming these foods, right? And it's not limited only to the town clinics. We have the same services available at the village ones like San Narciso and Libertad and Cristo Rey. So even our Coruscaleños that are out in the rural areas, they have this possibility.
As Belize continues to confront rising diabetes rates, awareness, education, and lifestyle modifications remain at the forefront of combating this silent epidemic. Elmer Cornejo, CTV3 News.
The Social Security Board today hosted a special mixer for the media in Belize City this morning to discuss issues surrounding the SSB and its future plans for the fund moving forward. Today's presentation included the work the SSB does to promote access to health care and to guarantee income security to the thousands of employed and retired Belizeans who form part of the scheme, ensuring that its members are able to access benefits which include sickness, maternity, employment injury, invalidity, unemployment, old age, or loss of a breadwinner are among the key focus of the board, according to its CL, Dr. Leroy Almandares.
Well, when you're making a claim, a sickness claim, the most important thing is to ensure that, in fact, you're registered. You're an employee, and that your contributions are being made, and that you have the required contribution in order to make a claim. Once you have your Social Security card, that means you're registered. We know who your employer is. And so when you make that claim, all our people need to do is to just go through history. It tells you who your employer is, and that you provide the requested information, your Social Security card. We already have your birth certificate captured. That's how you got your Social Security card. and then it goes through the process. Once you satisfy that, you go through the process, the payments are calculated, and you get your benefits. I don't believe it was so much more about benefit claims. I think the thing for the public when it came to social media was the loans. I think that's the one that they believe that you're giving away the money, when in fact you're not. If a loan is approved with an interest rate, tied to it, which means we expect to get interest income. But that loan has to be properly collateralized, because if any shortfall, or as we refer to it, if your ability becomes impaired to pay, then we have the collateral as security against that loan. But the most important thing for us is to make sure we do all, that it follows the guidelines, all those required analyses we do before that is approved.
Qualifying for invalidity due to sickness or injury, according to Dr. Almendares, are among the most common claims apart from sickness benefits. This process, according to him, is done with the participation of eligible healthcare partners from across the country to ensure that every Belizean who requires these benefits are able to receive it.
Well, remember, you transition from injury to invalidity. How that works is this, and that is why you have to understand that if you get injured on the job, if you get sick on the job, and you make your claim, there's a period of time for which it's 26 weeks. After that, you're assessed to see whether or not you can continue to work, because the injury could have made you disabled or unable to work anymore. The illness could also make you unable to work anymore. Then you claim or make a claim for invalidity. And once you make a claim for invalidity, that's when you get a medical assessment. Even the injury, because remember, some injuries can also be self-caused injury, and it must be on the job. If the injury was not caused on the job, then that injury does not really qualify, but you make your claim and that investigation takes place. It's not just a no, the investigation takes place. The good thing with our system as well, you can actually appeal. You can appeal. If a claim is denied, you can appeal. An appeals tribunal is put into place, and you can appeal. If the tribunal says we will uphold Social Security and your claim is denied, you take it to the high courts. Right? You take it to the high courts. But where invalidity is concerned, that's medically boarded, meaning it's doctors who determine, not SSB. It's doctors who determine, and the SSB doesn't have any doctors there. So it's independent doctors from that registered list that will go through that and make that assessment. It's 234 days.
Consecutive.
Right, yeah. And injury could, for the first, and that's why some people ask, how much of my salary do I get back? It's 80% for the first 175 days, and then for the remaining days it's 60%. But remember, that is sickness, benefit sickness claim. Injury simply means that you won't be able to go to work, and it's after that period expires that assessment for invalidity takes place.
An increasing number of claims are being filed from cancer patients, according to CEO Almendares. These cases are handled through a unique process which offers various benefits.
There is an increased prevalence, and there are two ways that gets addressed. Remember now, due to illness, you can also be unable to work anymore. The question is whether or not you have reached retirement age, because retirement age is at 60. If it's prior to that, then that's why we have grants and pensions, right? You can get a lump sum grant or something like that. The other avenue that we use, Jules, is that we have our Social Security Development Assistance. Because of the prevalence, there are many, not only women, but men as well, who have cancer cases, and there are allocations that are given through that committee to assist these individuals as well.
Coming up next, free surgical services for ENT patients. USA medical team to arrive in Belize on November 15th. Stay tuned.
What's with all the police everywhere? I'm not supposed to tell. You know the butcher? The freaking nut job that goes around chopping people up? The feds heard that he's gonna be here today. So they set up a trap for him. This whole concert, it's a trap. They're watching all the exits, they're checking everyone that leaves. There's no way to get out of here.
I've never felt this before. I feel out of control. Shoot left. Where should I put her?
Thank you.
This individual that we're searching for won't panic. He's realized he can't get out. He's going to try to cause chaos.
Dad, what are you doing? You're acting weird.
This dude is next level insane.
What's happening?
I think you're looking for me.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Sorry.
How you all doing? You having fun? Come closer. What's going on, Daddy?
Open the goddamn door! I can't get away. I can't stop. I'll just do this one last one. Enjoy the rest of the concert.
Every year, as the academic school year kicks off in September for schools across the country, we oftentimes hear of a situation where students are denied access to their education because of the way their hair looks. Here in Orange Walk, there have been many incidents over the years, and while the Ministry of Education says every year that students should not be kicked out of school for this reason, there seems to always be an institution who enforces their own rules. The Minister of Education spoke on this matter, saying that the policy on hair exists and within the education rules, and the ministry addresses any situation as they arise.
Yeah, I mean, that is the policy of the Ministry of Education. So I don't know how much more official it can get. Every time one of these incidents comes up, we make it very clear what the position is, that no child should be denied an opportunity for education on the basis of their hairstyle or whatever. So that is the policy. And we have made that clear. We have sent around, for years and years, we've sent around circulars and memos to that effect. And whenever, as I said, this issue arises, we address it immediately to ensure that the child is not discriminated against.
Hundreds of Belizeans suffer from a variety of ear, nose, and throat ENT issues, exacerbated by a range of factors, including limited access to specialized medical care. Many families face significant obstacles such as cost and availability when seeking treatment for these conditions. However, hope is on the horizon for residents of Corozal and Orange Walk, as a team of specialists from Partners for Medical Relief in the USA is set to arrive in Belize on November 15, 2024, to provide surgical services at no cost to patients in need. Dr. Angela Gilhari, Chief of Staff at the Corozal Community Hospital, spoke with our news team about the upcoming event.
We have two groups coming in for the month of November. The first one is Partners for Medical Relief, that is with Pastor John Kirby, and he's bringing in one team that will be doing ears, nose, and throat surgeries, so anything related to that. They also have some plastic surgeons on board, so they will be dealing with anything that has to do with scarring tissue, deformities that may be as a result of maybe burn accidents or, any type of accident that may have caused a physical deformity at skin level that might be, we might be able to fix with reconstructive surgery, right? We also have, they also deal with, you know, the malignant moles, skin cancer. We have them, they will be coming in on the 15th to do screening, and they will be doing screening both here in Corozal and in UNRWA at the same time. They will start at 9 a.m. at the clinic areas of both health facilities. And well, the flyers that you will see out there will state from 9 to 2, but the truth is that they don't leave until they see the last patient. So they will be seeing anybody that comes in to consult with them. We just ask that, like I said, they are coming to deal, these are ears, nose, and throat specialists and plastic surgeons. So obviously, if you come to me with a gallbladder situation, they won't be able to deal with that. But this first team, the ones that deal with the ears, nose, and throat and the plastic surgeries, they do walk-ins. So they do one big screening on the Friday. And like I said, it's happening here and in Orange Walk. And then from that screening that they do, they pick out those that are candidates for surgery, and they schedule them for the next 4 days following the screening day. So they do surgeries. The screening is on Friday. They're going to be doing surgeries on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. All right. Usually the last day, it's just for the last cases and packing up that usually happens, right? These surgeries are free of cost. There's no fee, and if there's admission time that is required post-surgical, that also is free of cost. There's no bill that comes to you at the end of the day.
The screening process for these services is crucial as it will help identify candidates who qualify for surgical intervention. Those in need of assistance are asked to bring along any x-rays or lab results related to their condition, as this will facilitate a smoother assessment process. However, not having these records should not hinder anyone from seeking assistance, as the team will do their best to accommodate all patients based on available resources.
We're inviting anyone that has any situation with ears, nose, and throat, congenital deformities like cleft palates as well. We have a specialist coming in that solely dedicates to that, and he does other things as well, but that is his area of expertise. So you're going to be in very good hands. If you look at the background of these surgeons coming in, then you would see that these are very well known surgeons in the US. They are professors at medical universities and heads of department at their respective hospitals. So I know sometimes there's this perception out there that these doctors are coming to practice on us. This is definitely not the case. You can ask the name of your surgeon if you end up in one of them, and you go and research that, and you will definitely find a lot of information on them. And so and they are not new to the Belizean people. Like I said, they've been coming for many years.
Screening will take place at both the Northern Regional Hospital and the Corozal Polyclinic beginning at 9 a.m. on November 15th. The Belize cabinet has taken significant strides towards improving the country's criminal justice system, as well as endorsing various initiatives aimed at promoting social welfare and economic growth. Cabinet approved the establishment of a criminal justice board tasked with conducting a comprehensive review of the nation's legal framework and developing practical solutions to existing challenges. In a related effort, amendments to the Senior Courts Act was approved to enhance the appellate process, allowing for public advertisement of appeal notices and addressing the backlog of cases. Additionally, the Cabinet endorsed the Belize National Electrification Plan, developed in partnership with the Inter-American Development Bank, aiming to provide universal electricity access by 2030 for all households and public facilities. In a move to modernize government departments, the Women's Department will be renamed the Family Support and Gender Affairs Department, reflecting a commitment to equality and inclusion. San Pedro has been designated as a port to improve maritime governance and safety, enabling better operational efficiency in local waters. The cabinet also approved a resolution to join the Interparliamentary Union, which fosters democratic engagement and global cooperation through parliamentary diplomacy. Lastly, cabinet extended condolences to the family of Ms. Nadia Cattouz, honoring our contributions to Belizean society and her efforts to aiding Belizeans in the United Kingdom during the movement for self-determination. As mentioned, the highly anticipated Global Surgical Expedition, GSE, is set to arrive in Corozal this coming November, bringing a pivotal opportunity for individuals in need of urology and urogynecology surgeries. Scheduled for November 17, 2024, this medical mission will take place at the Corozal Polyclinic from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The GSE, a renowned medical initiative that operates in various countries worldwide, aims to provide essential surgical services to underserved populations. Patients interested in receiving treatment must undergo a screening process, which is available by appointment only. Those seeking to schedule a screening can contact Marielle Black at 615-8514 or email info@globalsurgicalexpedition.org. Dr. Angela Gilhari, Chief of Staff at the Corozal Community Hospital, detailed the process and significance of this mission.
And this team has also worked with us for many years. This is Global Surgical Expedition, and they specialize in urology mostly. Now, this team it's not just purely urology, but it's gynae urology as well. So we have these two different type of specialists coming in. Urology has to do with anything involving prostate, kidney, bladder, anything with the urinary tract. All right, and in the case of males, well, it also involves the prostate. The urogyne, it's a specialist, it's a urologist specialist, but that deals specifically with the female urinary and gynecological systems. We're looking at females that have problems with urinary incontinence that may be as a result of normal deliveries that you've had throughout your life, or maybe because of trauma or whatever, but that you have a urinary incontinence problem, that you have problems with what we call in the community out there, for people to understand me, I'm talking about drop womb, So these are the type of situations, certain fistulas. These are the type of complications that they are going to be addressing. So it's not a normal gynecological specialist or obstetrician. It's not that. It's just that it's a urologist that specializes more with the females and the complications that come about and are unique to females because of how we are designed. Okay, so that team will be coming in on the 18th of November. That's a Monday. The screening is going to be happening on a Monday, and it's going to be happening at the Corozal Polyclinic as well. This team operates a bit differently in that the assessments require a little bit more time, and they require a lot more privacy, and so it limits the number of patients that can be seen in an hour per se. All right, so we can't really handle the large masses that like we would be able to do with ENT surgeries, for example. So they prefer to work on an appointment system.
The surgeries provided by the GSE are specifically listed on the promotional flyer, free of charge. According to Dr. Gilhari, if you are to seek these surgeries privately, they could cost approximately $15,000 Belize dollars. The Global Surgical Expedition team is offering this care free of cost, which is significant for patients.
They are. If you were to seek that sort of attention outside, you're gonna be paying private sector. You're gonna be paying a minimal of $15,000, minimal, right? If you manage to get through, because this is a specialty that is very much in demand in Belize and very limited. So through the public sector, we can only refer to the urologists that we have in Carl Huchner, right? And there's only 2 of them there for the entire country. So you can imagine how swamped they are and the waiting list that they have as well. And then Carl Huchner, remember, it's a it's not fully public, so there's still a bill at the end of the day. So, we do encourage that if we have anybody out there that is having difficulties with prostatic hyperplasia, they deal with kidney stones and bladder stones. Kidney and bladder, please, not gallbladder, urinary bladder. Because this happens every year. We announce it and people think it's gallbladder, and of course we have a long list for those as well. And then they get frustrated and upset because they come from early just to find out that it's something that they can't see. So I'm making it very clear. This is strictly urinary tract, kidney system, and prostate, right? And for females, well, the same, for exception of the prostate, of course. But females that have problems with urinary incontinence, drop womb or uterus, and urethral diverticulum, certain fistulas, they can come in.
For more information or to schedule an appointment, you can contact Maria Lee Black at 615-8514 or email info@globalsurgicalexpedition.org. And here is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Pro FC is here on Saturday, November 30th. Pro FC arrives at the Garden City Belmopan. Pro FC 14 Mundo versus Topsy inside the UB Gymnasium in the city of Belmopan. The main event is the lightweight championship fight between the defending champion Marvin Manley Mundo versus the dangerous Amel Topsy. We also have 9 other exciting MMA fights, including 2 more championship fights and a featured professional international MMA fight featuring the undefeated Frank Mac Vasquez. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the event starts at 7:30 p.m. sharp. General admission tickets are only $30 and VIP tickets are $80 available at the event ticket booth. Pro FC, Belize Premier MMA League. Pro FC 14 live exclusively on Centaur.
Pro FC 14 is brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, the Belmopan City Council, and Express Plus app, streaming entertainment.
A local film company has expressed interest in opening the first ever film school in Belize. The project is reportedly going to use Galen University's film industry classes to make this happen. Minister of Education, Science, Culture, and Technology, Honorable Francis Fonseca, commented on this proposal, saying that while he believes any opportunity for Belizeans to better themselves is a good idea, he says that they need more details about the plan to figure out how the government can support it.
No, I mean, I think it would be a good idea. It would be a good opportunity. But, you know, I really have to see a proposal from them. We'd have to look at it and determine how that would work and how it would complement what we are already doing here in Belize. But certainly, you know, we welcome opportunities for our people to get, you know, exposed to areas of media and film and that sort of thing. That's something that's lacking. So, you know, we would certainly, in principle, welcome it, but we'd have to look at a more detailed proposal to determine if it's something we would support.
In a significant policy shift, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has announced that Belize will be added to the list of countries eligible for the H-2A and H-2B seasonal work visa programs effective November 8, 2024. This decision reverses a previous 2018 ruling when Belize was removed from the list due to concerns surrounding human trafficking standards. The H-2A program allows U.S. employers to hire temporary agricultural workers from abroad, while the H-2B program is designed for non-farm seasonal workers. The reinstatement provides a lawful pathway for Belizean nationals seeking economic opportunities in the United States, aiming to mitigate irregular migration. The DHS cited significant progress made by Belize in meeting the standards set forth by the Trafficking Victims Protection Act (TVPA) since its removal. A statement released by DHS emphasized that the Secretary of Homeland Security, with the concurrence of the Secretary of State, determined that Belize should be designated as an eligible country for these visa programs. Adding Belize to these programs would contribute to DHS's goals of promoting economic development and improving bilateral commercial relationships with Belize, the agency stated. It highlighted that while the irregular migration of Belizean nationals to the U.S. remains low, participation in the H-2A and H-2B programs would provide legal alternatives for those seeking better economic prospects. Additionally, the DHS report noted that Belize's visa overstay rate was below 5% in 2023, comparable to other eligible countries, reflecting improvement in compliance with U.S. immigration standards. Previously ranked at Tier 3 in the U.S. Department of State's annual Trafficking in Persons report, Belize has since improved its standing to Tier 2. This upgrade underscores concerted efforts by the Belizean government to address and combat human trafficking. The inclusion of Belize in the seasonal work visa programs is expected to enhance opportunities for Belizeans while fostering stronger economic ties between the two nations. As this new chapter begins, the Belizean community in the U.S. and prospective workers look forward to the potential benefits that lawful migration can bring to their families and economy. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, November 8th here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelizeNews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.